President John F. Kennedy was moving through downtown Dallas in a highly protected motorcade when he was shot on November 22, 1963. Secret Service agents and a motorcade of the entire police force accompanied him. Not only that, but the FBI had been keeping an eye on this route for several days. Despite all this, he was attacked near Dealey Plaza and killed on the spot. After the attack, the CIA, FBI, Secret Service, and police all responded, but they couldn't bring anyone else within the bounds of the law except for Lee Oswald, the shooter. Some questioned whether they deliberately avoided involving anyone else. Was this a well-planned conspiracy, or was it a single person surprising the top-secret agencies and shooting the famous president from close range? Welcome back once again to Docutainment's videos. The story officials told didn't sit well with people. The president could have taken a quick, direct route from the airport to the bank. So, why did his motorcade go through the city? Who decided on this path? They said the person who shot him was either random or planned. But the truth is, he only got a job with a phone call at the book depository a month ago. However, in the video of the shooting, a girl was wearing a scarf seen taking pictures of the murder. Why wasn't she discovered until now? And what was her link to all of this? It's been 60 years since President John F. Kennedy was attacked and killed during his motorcade. The passing of President JFK left many Americans deeply affected, and the inquiry into this incident has failed to address numerous public queries. There's a belief that the top-secret U.S. agencies have withheld crucial information about the assassination, keeping the truth concealed. There are several reasons supporting this view. The initial one revolves around the selection of the location where the president was supposed to be. President JFK had to give a speech in Dallas, Texas, and was given two options: the trademark and the Women's Building. The White House suggested choosing the Women's Building, but Texas Governor John Kennedy preferred the president to go to the trademark. The reason behind this was that the trademark was a banquet hall, suitable for the president, unlike the interior of the Women's Building. Eventually, on November 14, 8 days before the assassination, the trademark venue was chosen, but this information wasn't announced. Now, the decision had to be made on how to travel from Love Field Airport, where the president's plane was due to land, to the trademark. Typically, presidential motorcades follow routes with fewer obstacles or turns. There was a route available outside the city that could have taken the president directly to the trademark. However, it wasn't chosen. Instead, the route passed by the school book depository where the shooter attacked the president. Believing this route was intended for the president's attack is incorrect. It was at the president's request because he wanted to pass through the crowd. However, had the Women's Building been chosen instead of the trademark venue, the president's motorcade would have traveled east from this main road. It would have made it harder for the shooter to target if the motorcade had taken the route from the Women's Building, because it would have increased the distance between the book depository and the president. First Lady Jacqueline, who always sat on his left side, would have been between the shooter and the president. Among many crucial details, selecting the trademark venue was significant in planning the president's assassination. And, as you know, Texas Governor John Kennedy made this choice. There's no question about his intentions because when the president was attacked, he was seated with his wife in the presidential limousine. Though he was shot, his life was saved. Additionally, Governor Kennedy opposed this route from the start. He wanted to take the trademark route from outside the city. But someone had already planned all of this meticulously. The president's motorcade and venue details were only made public 3 to 4 days before his assassination. That means nobody knew about this information before then. However, something suspicious happened at the school book depository 2 months earlier, indicating that someone already had this information. Exactly 2 months prior, in September 1963, there was a sudden staff shortage at the book depository. Vassell Frazier, living in Irving, received a job offer from an employment agency. He started at the depository on September 13, hired by Superintendent Roy Truly. A month later, on October 15, Vassell's neighbor also phoned the depository superintendent and was hired the next day. Vasile's neighbor turned out to be Lee Oswald, who would be arrested 39 days later for President JFK's murder. Oswald couldn't commute daily due to not having a driver's license, so he rented a room in Dallas. On weekends, he'd go to Irving with Vasile and return to the book depository with him on Monday mornings. This routine continued for a month but was broken just a day before the president's assassination. On November 21st, Lee Oswald went to Vasile's house in Irving, saying he'd stay in Dallas for the weekend. The following morning, Oswald had a long paper bag with him when he left for work with Vasile. Oswald claimed it contained curtain rods for his room. Half an hour before the assassination, Oswald was on the book depository's 6th floor with some colleagues. At noon, during lunchtime, all employees went to the 1st floor to eat, leaving Oswald alone on the 6th floor. Outside, many people gathered to see the president's motorcade. A few depository employees watched from the 5th floor windows. The president's motorcade arrived precisely at 12:30, with the president on the right side of the car and the First Lady on the left. The governor and his wife were also present ahead. As the presidential limousine turned left from the book depository, the area was startled by the sound of the first shot. By chance, a reporter captured this scene on his camera. Some claimed 2 shots were heard, others said 3. Yet, one bullet struck the president's neck and another hit his head. The limousine driver swiftly drove away without stopping at the location. President John F. Kennedy's death likely occurred at that moment. Accounts varied. Some described the shooter as black, while others said white. A motorcade police officer spotted a man on the 6th floor after the initial shot. Hurrying inside, he reached the 6th floor, finding it empty. Soon after, police and the FBI sealed the entire building, halting all employees from leaving. Yet, among them, one person was missing: Lee Oswald. Following the investigation, Oswald had departed from the book depository, headed to his room, changed clothes, and left with his pistol. Police, already on the lookout, patrolled the city using wireless communication. An officer spotted Oswald, but before he could act, Oswald fatally shot the officer with 4 rounds. Oswald sought refuge in a nearby movie theater. After his arrest, Lee Oswald was extensively interrogated by the police, FBI, and CIA for 2 days, but no recordings exist of these closed-room sessions. There's no evidence of what happened during these interrogations. On November 24th, while being moved from the police headquarters to jail, he was shot in front of the media and police. Oswald died in the same hospital where John F. Kennedy was taken. Officially, this was the disclosed story. However, witnesses claimed the man they saw on the 6th floor window wasn't the same person. Before he was shot, Oswald repeatedly proclaimed his innocence in front of the media. According to the police, Oswald was remarkably cunning, plotting alone after securing a job at the book depository, evading detection by the FBI, CIA, and police. But people questioned this, wondering how, if Oswald meticulously planned everything alone, he made numerous mistakes in the end, like being captured and hiding in a movie theater. Despite various investigation reports published after President John F. Kennedy's assassination, each report only added confusion to the case. After Oswald's death, a theory emerged that he was killed by those who had orchestrated the whole plot. People believed insiders were involved in this conspiracy because executing it without insider help seemed unlikely. Many suspected the FBI and CIA's involvement, considering Lee Oswald's background as a former U.S. Marine. Although the FBI had monitored him, they didn't inform the president's Secret Service while planning the motorcade route. Throughout the investigation, crucial evidence was tampered with. For instance, 3 bullet shells found on the 6th floor were removed before photos were taken, then replaced and photographed. Initial videos of the gunfire, made by the police, went missing. However, one piece of evidence remained: the footage of a girl in a scarf seen in numerous photos and videos. She had a camera and captured images of the president's assassination. Known as the babushka lady due to her scarf, Some speculate she was part of the plan and tasked with recording the scene. Yet to this day, the FBI hasn't located this girl. I hope you like, subscribe, and share this video of Docutainment. Thank you so much for your kind comments. See you in the next awesome video.